What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about your credit scores fully explained. I have a lot of subscribers who are new to credit or are in the state of rebuilding credit, so I really wanted to do this video to kind of talk about your credit score just a little bit more and what it entails. So let's get right into the video and talk about it. So your credit score is comprised of a couple of different things: your payment history, your utilization, your derogatory marks, your length of credit, credit mix, and new credit. These are some sections that will affect your credit score. So let's talk about them a little bit more. So your payment history is 35% of your credit score. And that is the number of on-time payments you make for the course of having credit. So for example, if you have a credit card and you consistently pay that credit card on time every month, you are building on-time payment history. And you want to make sure that your on-time payment history is 100%. So for example, let's say you have 100 payments. You made 100 payments with your credit cards or loans, and you miss one payment. Your on-time payment history will go down to 99%, but you want to make sure that your on-time payment history is always 100%. So you want to make sure that you are consistently making on-time payments for the course of your credit journey, so you can maintain a high credit score. So the next section that we are going to be talking about is your utilization. Your utilization is 30% of your credit score, and that is amount owed on credit cards. So for example, if I have a credit card and this credit card has a starting credit limit of $1,000 and I use $100, that is 10% of my utilization on this card. So in order to really see a big increase in your credit score, you want to make sure that you are using ideally under 10% of your credit limit. And your utilization is a combination of all your credit cards combined. So for example, if I have a $1,000 credit limit and another $1,000 credit limit on another card, that is a $2,000 credit limit. So if you want to maintain under 10%, you want to make sure you don't spend over $200 to really see an increase in your credit score. So the next section that we will talk about is derogatory marks. Derogatory marks don't necessarily count towards your credit score, but they can negatively impact your credit. So for example, if you have any collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, foreclosures, these are all negative items that can hurt your credit, and they are called derogatory marks. So although derogatory marks don't count towards your credit, they can negatively hurt your credit, and they can cost your approval on many credit cards and loans because those are delinquent accounts. Those are accounts you owe on. So it's very tough to get other credit cards or loans if you owe another credit union or bank or another lender. So it is important to make sure that you have no derogatory marks on your credit. So the next section that we're going to be talking about is your length of credit, which is 15% of your credit score. And that is the average age of your accounts. So for example, if you have a credit card reporting to the credit bureaus for 1 year, you have a length of credit of 1 year because you only have one credit card. That is the average age of all your accounts. So if you decide to apply for another credit card, that will drop your average age of accounts in half because you have two credit cards. So when your average age of accounts drops because you apply for new credit, although that will hurt your credit score for a certain amount of time, eventually your credit score will continue to increase because those accounts are aging together. In order to see a really big jump in your credit score, you want to make sure that those accounts are aging together for a long period of time without closure, because then that'll actually increase your credit score. The next section that we are going to be talking about is your credit mix, which is 10% of your credit score. And this is different credit accounts. So in order to receive a really high credit score, in order to receive as much points as you can get for that section, you want to make sure that you have credit cards and loans. You want to have a diversification on your credit portfolio. So for example, I have 2 credit cards. and this will help increase my credit score. But for the credit mix, you want to add a loan to really boost your credit score all the way up there. This has personally happened to me where, I had 5 credit cards and I was able to get a loan and my credit score jumped over 50 points. So if you really want to see a big increase in your credit score, having credit cards and loans on your credit report will help you in your credit mix. Now, the next section that we're going to be talking about is new credit, which is 10% of your credit score. And that is when you are applying for credit. When you are applying for new credit, you will most likely receive a hard inquiry. So a hard inquiry is basically when a lender pulls your credit to determine if you will receive an approval for either a credit card or a loan. And you will receive those hard inquiries. Hard inquiries will stay on your credit report for 2 years, and then after 1 year, they will no longer affect your credit. So applying for new credit too soon will hurt your credit. You want to make sure that you are spacing out your application so you are not running up on credit inquiries too quickly. So if we recap, your credit score is comprised of a couple of different things: your payment history, your utilization, derogatory marks, length of credit, credit mix, and new credit. For your payment history, you want to make sure that you have on-time payment, 100% on-time payments. For your utilization, you want to make sure that your utilization is ideally under 10% to receive that big boost in your credit score. You want to make sure that you are not delinquent on any accounts so that you don't have any derogatory marks on your credit. And with your length of credit, as your credit cards age, as your loans age, so will your length of credit. So as your credit cards or loan age, your credit score will increase because your length of credit is increasing as well. And for your credit mix, you want to make sure you have a diverse credit portfolio so you can really maximize how many points you are earning, increasing your credit score. And new credit, you want to make sure that you are spacing out your applications so that you are not receiving too many hard inquiries in a short amount of time. That will lower down your credit score. And for those who are in the state of rebuilding their credit and are struggling through any of these sections here, this is not the end all be all. So for example, you can change how your credit score looks. If you are struggling with your payment history, you can actually send a goodwill letter to the CEO where they can actually reverse your late payment and change it to an on-time positive payment. And if you explain your situation and why you were late and ask them to reverse that, they could do that for you. If you are struggling with your utilization, there are many different options that you can do to reduce that utilization. So you can take out a 0 interest rate credit card to transfer that balance to the other cards. You can pay it off faster. There are a lot of different other loans, like a debt consolidation loan. If you are struggling with any derogatory marks on your credit, you can actually send a debt validation letter to the debt collector where they have to verify that that debt is yours. If they can't, then they legally have to remove that off of your credit. Now, if you're struggling with your length of credit, you can actually be added as an authorized user on any of your parents' credit card or your grandparents' credit card where they have 20 to 25 years of credit history. And if you're added as an authorized user, that history on that credit card will also reflect on your credit. So if they've had a credit card that is 25 years old, you will have a credit card reporting to your credit report that will show you have 25 years of history, which will increase your length of credit. If you are struggling with credit mix, that's no problem. All you have to do is either add a loan if you need one or a credit card if you need one, and you should see an increase in your credit score. So if you are struggling with too many hard inquiries because you've been looking for credit quite a bit, you can actually send a hard inquiry removal letter to the credit bureaus and try and get those hard inquiries removed. So fixing up your credit could take time. It could take 30 days, it could take 6 months, a year, but be patient because you will receive those approvals. You will receive that house, that auto loan, that credit card, and that approval. So definitely stay patient, continue to fight the good fight. Hopefully this video was of some value to you and gave you some insight on what your credit score is all about. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.